Hello there. You're here to be hypnotized, eh? Marvellous. Today we're going to do a little fractionation. That's a hypnotic technique for quickly building the mental muscles that help you rapidly relax, engage your imagination, and then feel more awake again, experiencing fun new ideas and sensations. It involves relaxing and then becoming more alert multiple times in order to achieve this. Make sure that you're comfortable, feet flat on the ground or stretched out if you're lying down, and get ready to relax. Imagine for me, if you will, that you've come here to experience being hypnotized. Hard to imagine, I know. You're not quite sure how it'll feel. Maybe you're a little bit excited, or you have those butterfly flutters at the thought of someone being able to snap their fingers and drop you down into trance. Maybe you picture yourself smiling, nodding, agreeing that would be fun, but perhaps you're feeling a little too restless or uncertain right now to see it working. Only imagine having a switch in your mind for me. Imagine having a switch that could be snapped to immediately relax you. One moment you'd be your normal waking self, alert and animated, chatty, maybe bratty, but the second that switch is flicked, you'd relax. You'd put all your thoughts to one side, you'd focus on my words and you'd just drift, finding yourself losing track of where your mind was and realizing that that's just fine, that there's no need to worry, no need to analyze. No need to try and make conversation right now. It's pleasant instead to just imagine that the impetus to make conversation just isn't there. Happy to float calmly. At least until we picture that switch being snapped again and you'd wake, instantly alert, fully awake, feeling like yourself again, lively and energized and full of curious thoughts. Maybe you'd notice that change in your mindset, and maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you'd just believe that you'd zoned out just for a second. Hypnosis can be like that. Different people respond in different ways, which is very interesting. But it would be handy, wouldn't it? To have a shortcut to drop down into trance. To have a button in your brain that can be switched by those that you feel comfortable with. To be totally yourself 1 second and then gone with a snap, growing so calm. So totally relaxed. So completely at peace. So totally carefree, warm and open. Good. Nice in this moment to have no worries, nice in this space to have no cares, to feel every care just detaching and drifting away, becoming unimportant and forgotten. Content for your mind to just be on hold, or even to find yourself feeling like bits of your brain are unfocusing, drifting away, allowing a nice dreamy sensation to begin to fill you. Allowing each breath in this space to increasingly soothe you. Allowing each tick of time's passage to relax you more and more, until it's time to rise and think and wake and you be you again. Not that you weren't you a minute ago, but a fully focused you, a lively and engaged you, a you who's very definitely not hypnotized, at least not in this moment, right? Not that on occasion our waking selves can't follow the direction of our hypnotized minds. That's a fun part of post-hypnotic suggestions. But maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Right now you feel awake. Right now you feel easily able to move and stretch and walk and talk, right? But we have been talking about that button. That trigger for your mind. That off switch that can take effect whenever your mind knows it's time to relax. And you can experience it as potently and powerfully as you could want to. Isn't that good to know? You can find yourself feeling perfectly normal, awake and aware 1 moment, and then you can hear the word sleep and you can let yourself drop deep. Because you like the idea of your mind having that ability. The ability to allow your imagination to take over for a while. Because you enjoy the thought of discovering yourself instantly relaxing. The moment that someone that you feel comfortable with tells you to sleep. Because it feels good to just drop your guard for a time. Not to the point where you're going to do anything that would endanger or upset you, but enough to let yourself be led. Happy to let someone else take over for a while. Happy to feel calm and compelled for a spell. Happy when you hear a suggestion or a fun idea to just go with it. To let the critical parts of your mind just take a break for a while like they're not even there. To allow yourself to feel and think and behave like whatever suggestions that you're given really are. Hypnotic and powerful and irresistible and true, making it all the more enjoyable to just follow every suggestion that you're given, all the more entertaining just to feel your imagination taking control, all the more intriguing to see just how bound you can find your will becoming, as you allow each tick of time to drift you deeper, as you allow each breath that you take to calm you more completely, as you let each word that I speak enchant you more enjoyably, happy for a while to feel peaceful and pliable, content for a spell to feel dazed and blank. But just as before, when it's time to, you'll come up in 3, 2, 1 and wake, and you'll notice for me right now that you are feeling awake, that your head clears, that moving comes naturally, that you feel if you were asked to, you could hold a conversation just fine. Perhaps you remember a few moments ago when everything felt different. Perhaps you don't know what I'm talking about, and you feel your concentration only lapsed for a brief second, like you just zoned out, right? Totally understandable. I've got one of those voices, it's very easy to zone out too. Either way, it's still an enjoyable idea. Either way, it's still an entertaining topic to wake in an instant and to drop and sleep when you're told to feel calm and compliant. And if you happen to be the submissive sorts, to feel spellbound and sensual, docile and dazed. If you enjoy feeling captive, then to feel that way. Captive, compelled, controlled, more enchanted with every breath. Like every attempt that you make to wake only makes you feel more bound and sleepy. Like every effort that you make to think only makes your mind unravel more and more. Like every time that you try to rouse yourself, you simply drop down deeper. Thoughts all evaporating before they've even had a chance to form. As enchanted as you could wish to be every time I tell you to sleep. Recalling as much or as little as you like every time that I tell you that it's time to 3, 2, 1, wake. Blinking and stretching and feeling like yourself. Maybe you're disoriented, maybe you know exactly what's going on. But there's no denying that you are feeling that change in your conscious mind, that change in your awareness. Every time I ask you to sleep, you drift and slow and melt and drop deep. Every time I tell you it's time to wake, you feel a rush of warmth and energy and liveliness, feeling very much like yourself. But should you hear sleep, well then you feel very much like a doll, very much like your body's just too comfortable to move, very much like those eyes have no desire to open, perhaps no ability to open. Very much like every attempt that you make to wake simply drops you down deeper as long as you're safe and comfortable and enjoying yourself. And whilst you're in this state, it's just the easiest thing in the world to follow my directions and suggestions. Easiest thing in the world to find yourself feeling whatever I describe. Easy to let your conscious minds take a break and your imagination and your unconscious minds take over. Easy to let yourself feel perfectly receptive and open to new ideas and experiences. Open to feeling yourself following any fun thoughts that I might suggest to you. Easy to feel yourself rising when I say so, coming almost completely out of trance as I count 3, 2, up, and easy to feel yourself dropping, slipping deep and letting yourself feel limp as I ask you to drift down, down, down. Easy to lift and feel more awake, rising to wakefulness in 3, 2, 1, but it's easy to sleep and feel spellbound, drifting and dropping and spacing down in an instant. Good. Enjoying how simple that is, to relax in a moment whenever you hear the word sleep, to go from being wide awake to deeply focused and relaxed and happy to follow suggestions. Enjoying how effortless it turns out it is. In future you'll find that it's very, very easy whenever you want to feel this way again. Simplicity itself to sleep when I say so or when someone that you trust to relax you says so. Easy as anything to let yourself just melt and drop down automatically, unthinkingly, irresistibly, so long as you're safe and happy and comfortable to do so. If you're not safe and happy and comfortable, it's easy to wake the second that you need to. But if you are safe and happy, it's easy to let that feeling settle into your mind, to let yourself drop, to drift, to sleep down deep. Enjoying the experience of feeling that ability building, the ability to relax down into trance. Enjoying the knowledge that you can return here again if you ever want to, if you ever need to reinforce things. Feeling those mental muscles of your unconscious mind and your imagination growing stronger all the time, and enjoying how that feels. enjoying that you have that ability, and feeling good about that fact. Now, in a moment, you're going to wake, and you're going to feel energized and lively, and you're going to feel wonderfully refreshed and alert, and remember as much or as little as you wish of your time in trance. And if you're comfortable feeling a little bit compelled, you're going to tell me how you feel and what kind of hypnotic suggestions and ideas you'd enjoy in future. Okay? Ready to feel all that as you start to rise in 3, rising from trance, 2, heaviness dropping away, 1, energy filling you, 0, taking a nice deep breath of energy and oxygen, and wide awake, feeling fine and fantastic. And there we go. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you'd enjoy listening to more files like this in future, please like and subscribe and comment and do all the YouTube things. Let me know what suggestions you'd enjoy seeing in future videos, either in the self-hypnosis sense if you'd like to follow along yourself, or the stage hypnosis sense if you'd like to see it working on someone else. Thank you very much. I hope you have a fantastic day. Cheers.
Now I'm really sleepy.